What's the deal, YouTube? It's your boy NextGen 720, and I am back with another video. If you haven't checked out the last two podcasts, please do so. Good shows, especially the Xbox Beast video podcast. Good show. I had a great time with Dealer, Porter Rock, T Ripper. Good show. Check it out. And my man Iron Wolf swung by. And also too the Bang Bang Next Gen Gamers Xbox versus Ponies Round 5. That wasn't even a debate. That was more of a podcast too, because only one pony showed up, and we had a good time just talking about video games. Another good show. If you haven't checked them out, get caught up. You know what I mean? Anyway, on to today's video, which is crazy as hell. I left a tweet yesterday, and I said, would any of you guys, be honest, jump ship? Remember what I mean? Xbox guys I was talking to would jump ship from the Xbox to, just say, the PlayStation 4 Neo if Microsoft console was not as powerful as the Neo. And I got some interesting answers, to say the least. Because let's be real, you know, in the perfect world, you choose a console. Well, back in the day, you chose a console for their exclusive with one guy, whether you were a Mario guy or whether you were Team Sega, or you was a Sonic guy, you know, because both consoles share the same multiplats. So you would, you know, choose a side. But not the case anymore, because I'm not saying that exclusives are not important, but Uncharted 4 didn't make the PlayStation 4 sell 40 plus million units. No, it was done because, quote unquote, it's presumed to receive that the PlayStation 4 is a more powerful console. Which it is. And it had the better version of the multiplat. What I mean by better version, that normally 9 times out of 10, that the PlayStation 4 version of whatever game rendered a higher resolution than the Xbox ones. Normally it comes in at 1080p for the came in at 1080p for the PlayStation 4, and most times if it didn't get a dynamic 1080p, it was a 900p for the Xbox One. So again, all the advantages that Microsoft had last generation, they gave that away with this generation, because last generation, no, the Xbox 360 wasn't as powerful as the PlayStation 3. Okay? What I mean by that, somebody's calling me on Skype. Who the hell is this? Jesus. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But it had the better version of multiplats. You know, it is what it is. So games that were built from the ground up for the sale, like God of War 3, God of War Ascension, Uncharted, Heavy Rain, yada yada yada. You know, it is what it is. Not saying the 360 didn't have their great looking games. Like the first time I saw Gears, it blew my mind. But the the PS3 was more powerful than the 360. But the Xbox 360 had the better version of the multiplats. Better frame rates, higher resolution. But console gamers didn't really talk about frames and resolutions last generation. You know what I mean? They didn't. So, you know, Microsoft didn't cover their ass this generation. You know, this generation Sony came out with a very easy architecture console that's easy to develop for. That's been a big hit against Sony for years, that their dev kits have been shitty, you know, that their consoles haven't always been the easiest to develop for. And Microsoft, whatever advantages they had last generation, they gave them away, because this generation developers had problems developing for the Xbox One. And people say, oh, you know what, the developers are lazy. I'm not saying that, you know, that some devs aren't lazy, but let's be honest, the Xbox One wasn't that easy to develop for. Well, we'll say this: when it came to the DirectX 11, you had the eSRAM was a headache. The Xbox One was built for Windows 10 and DirectX 12. How you say beta tested in the future? It was. There's no denying that. You know, games run better, have better for everything with DirectX 12 and Windows 10 for the Xbox One, but we had to wait 3 years after the console came out. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Like I said, then by then the damage is done. And even with DirectX 12, you still have games coming in 720p. Beautiful as a game like Quantum Break is. You know what I mean? All the shit that's going on in the background. You know what I mean? And again, like I said, I kind of commend Remedy, because it's easy they could have got the game to be 1080p, but you wouldn't have had all this shit going on in the background. But the stuff that's going to, the stuff that's going around in the background, it kind of contributes to the game for all the shards of glass and shit. A cup of coffee spilling, you see it froze, and like there's a lot of shit going, a lot of particle effects, a lot of shit going on in Quantum Break. Now, not to get too long-winded on that. So I asked the honest question. Well, a lot of you guys jump ship, and I got some answers. Some guys said, yeah, like, you know what I mean? Fuck that, I'm out of here. Because let's be real, it hasn't been easy being an Xbox One fan this generation. Every exclusive we get, we get the rumors from Digital Farm, this, it's not 1080p, you know what I mean? I think, Xbox fans, we've gotten used to it now, it's not, but at first it was like a big slap in the face. It's like, we can't enjoy our games. Everything has to be, it's about the resolution. Now, good as Quantum Break was or is, whatever the case, the big, throwing it aside was that it was 720p. That was, oh no, you know what I mean? Now, this is not a multi-plat. This is a game, a first party. Well, it's not a first party, third, whatever, second party. But it's Microsoft's IP, built from the ground up for the Xbox One, and it's still 720p. You understand what I'm saying? Microsoft, they pulled let's be honest, they pulled the Nintendo. They sacrificed the specs of the console to include a peripheral, the Kinect. It is what it is. To put it in layman terms, the PS4 GPG is a 2 gig GPU, and the Xbox One is a 1 gig GPU. Layman terms, the PS4 GPU has more shaders, and the Xbox One GPU doesn't. Now, he said hindsight is 2020. This is your biggest competitor. You shouldn't concede anything. But if Microsoft got over last generation, but not as being the most powerful console. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, though. But even though you weren't the most powerful console last generation, Microsoft, your games 99.9% of the time ran at a higher resolution, and you gave that away this generation for whatever reason. Now, I don't want to talk about that anymore. So I got a lot of you guys' answers, and I'm gonna say this: what makes me an Xbox fan is the controller. Love the controller. Xbox Live, where my friends are. I love the interface. Yeah, I like the Xbox One, just to be honest. I love the multitasking of it. You know what I mean? Fine. But would it be nice to have the most powerful console? Yes, it would be. I'm not gonna lie, it would be. Hey, I like beautiful women in fast cars. There's nothing wrong with it. It's the American way. Shit, it's like saying, no, it's not about the graphics. Go sit down.
Daddy, need a paper towel.
For what?
For my room.
Ask your mother. Your daddy down here working. You're working right now. I'm putting in his work. Boop. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. So anyway, I hate when I just lose my fucking train of thought. So anyway, fuck all that. So they gave that away. And then I asked another question just now. I said, because rumors came out last week that the Xbox console, their new console, is going to be the most powerful console ever created. It's going to be 10 teraflops. The PlayStation 4 Neo is 4 teraflops. And to those that may be new watching my videos, I don't know much about specs. To put that in layman's terms, Xbox guys, we hang our hat on Rise being for a certain level of graphics. Rise is a beautiful game, and they were able to make a great game looking like Rise, which is also 900p or something like that, but 1.3 teraflops. The Xbox One is 1.3 teraflops. The PlayStation 4 is 1.8 teraflops, and their game, like I said, the level of graphics, you say the order 1886. They was able to achieve that with 1.8 teraflops. Now the PlayStation 4 Neo is 4 teraflops. That's a lot of fucking teraflops. It is. So now, rumor came out last week that the next Xbox or whatever, Xbox Slim, the Xbox second generation, is going to be 10 teraflops. And let you guys say, man, shit, that GPU is more powerful than a Titan. Like I tell you guys again and again, technology is forever moving forward. Just yesterday, Nvidia had and I know they do what, like I said, they're dealing with AMD, but they put this in, for you guys can understand, the video just announced two cards yesterday. They have a GTX 1070 for $379. That's faster than a Titan Z. And I believe that's 8.5. I think that's 8 teraflops. But could you imagine a GTX 1070 inside a console? The consoles, inside a console. Consoles are a closed environment, and consoles don't require the same resources as a gaming rig. Okay, if you still don't understand that, you can take a GTX 1070 and put it in the Xbox or PlayStation, and take a GTX 1070 and put it on the gaming rig. That console would dance circles around that gaming rig, because the gaming rig requires more of that GTX 770 than the actual console will. Okay, you understand that? And like I said, that was only for $379. Faster than Titan Z, and Titan Z, or whatever the fuck they cost right now, upwards of $1,000. And also too, that card right there is $379 to the public. Microsoft and Sony are not paying that. They buy those cards in bulk. So that $379 card, they will probably get it for $70, $80, just say $100. They buying that shit by 20 million. You understand what I'm saying? 20 to 30 million of them at a time. So they buying them in bulk. They're not paying what we're paying. Then they came out and announced the GTX 1080. Right now, NVIDIA's fastest card is a 980, right? 980 Ti, whatever, Xi, Pi, 980. That's their fastest card. And their GTX 1080 is faster than two of their most powerful cards right now, the 980, running in SLI. SLI means running two cards at the same time. I believe AMD uses Crossfire. That's their term that they use. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with AMD cards. I'm more of a NVIDIA type guy. So, and that card is only $600. Let's say $600 to the public. So you got one card for $600 that's faster than both of their top tier cards right now. And a 980, I think that was like $600-700 along those lines. So when they say that Microsoft next console rumored to be 10 teraflops, now you see these new cards, it's not like damn, like whoa. Cause that was the big thing last week. Like, oh, Wayne Hell could be 10 teraflops. Remember all that shit? Now look, like I said, technology is forever moving forward. That's why, listen to me again, I'm fine with having shorter console cycles. I am. Because, we can get a GTX, just say, I know they don't deal with NVIDIA. They can't get a GTX 1070 or 80 if they stay within the same box for 7 years. They can't. That's why PC elitist guys shit on console guys, because they feel like we're holding them back. The same way us console guys shit on the PS3, the 360 owner, they need to come on board. My biggest gripe, I hate cross-gen development. The 360 and the PS3 need to die. This way we fuss at them for saying they're holding us back. PC guys fuss at us for holding them back. Because consoles rule. Even like I said, games are made, they run on PC. But even though a lot of you guys say this, because well, it don't look that much better than what's on the console. Shit, me, first of all. But you don't know how good Call of Duty or whatever could have made if it was just made for PC and to take advantage of PC specs. They still had to work on this goddamn console. And to put that in layman's terms, you look at Tomb Raider on the Xbox One. Beautiful game. But Tomb Raider also came out on the 360. So the Xbox One has 8 gigs of RAM, well, say 5, 6 for gaming. The Xbox 360 has a half a gig of RAM. And as good as the Xbox One version looks, it still had to run on a half a gig of RAM for the 360, if that makes sense to you now. Now, what I'm saying to you guys, for Microsoft next console, because would you want them guys to go back to NVIDIA? Because when they were with NVIDIA, with the OG Xbox, Microsoft had the most powerful console in the world. And it's not a knock against AMD. Like my boy Iron Wolf said, I'm just speaking the facts. And AMD would never, as far as cards, they would never be able to catch NVIDIA. Why? Because NVIDIA is a bigger company, and they have more R&D to develop their technologies. AMD doesn't have that. They don't sell as many GPUs as NVIDIA. They don't. What keeps AMD afloat are their console contracts. If they were just going GPU to GPU, with Nvidia been crushed them a long time ago. But what keeps, like I said, AMD afloat is Microsoft, is Sony, is Nintendo. That's when they came out like, damn, I was happy if the rumor of Microsoft buying AMD, because this will give them more buckets to work on their technologies. You understand what I'm saying? To make a card just as powerful, if not more powerful than the GTX, 1080. But this is your boy Next Gen 720. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. No, this is a long video, but would any of you guys jump ship if the next Xbox is not more powerful than the Neo? And would you like to see Microsoft go back to Nvidia for their next generation console? Looking at the specs of the GTX 1070 and the 1080, and they're very cheap to be that powerful. It's your boy Nixon, so I'm out of here. Bang, bang.